Welcome back to Benny's Custom Works. Today we're playing with the CRESTA. Yes, it's back. We've had mixed results with the car since we've had it back in Australia. Unfortunately, I think we've actually had a bit of water damage to something electronic in the car since we received it. I'm pretty confident that's actually happened on the dock when they pressure washed the bay. They go pretty hardcore with pressure washing. They bent a ton of fins on the intercooler, which is not great. It's going to take hours to straighten all that out. We've been having an engine protection trigger on cylinder 2 since we got it back from the States. Interestingly, we never had that trigger issue or that engine protection issue while we're in America at all. So the only thing that's changed since coming back is being that it's had a massive pressure wash. Well, I can't blame that 100%. It kind of does line up with where we're at. So we've tried changing a few things. We've taken it to the track a few times. Some we've filmed, like the MCM Nats. We've got a bit of footage from that. We've also taken it to the track on a couple of Wednesday nights. Unfortunately, one of those Wednesday nights resulted in either blowing the head gasket on cylinder 2 or potentially even cracking a bore. So this is the OG drag week engine that we've done the 2 drag weeks and drag challenge on. So while I'm a bit bummed that it's broken, I'm not sort of devastated because we've been asking a lot of this engine and it's done a lot of passes. So today we're going to rip it out. But more excitingly, Empire's actually building our other engine as we speak. So they're doing some measurements and testing today to make sure it's all correct. And in the next couple of days, we're going to go down there and actually assemble it with them. So to prepare for that, we're going to rip this engine out today. Then as soon as the new engine's ready, it's going to go straight in and we're going to get it tuned. And it's currently the 20th. No, it's not the 20th yet. It's about the 15th of December, something like that. And Summer Nats is less than 3 weeks away, so while I don't want to get into the discovery drama timelines, we are on a pretty strict deadline with this one, so hopefully we can pull it together and make Summer Nats. I actually don't know if that's going to happen yet because in Australia, everywhere is shutting this year on the 20th of December, like workshops and dynos and all that sort of stuff, so there could be a lot of favours being pulled in to get this thing ready for Summer Nats, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure Scotty is going to help us tune it again. And yeah, as I mentioned, Empire, the guys down there, they're going to help us put the engine together. Well, we're going to basically watch them put it together because I'm not an engine builder. I do like to go and be part of it though because I'm trying to learn bits and pieces as we go. Same as you guys watching us, you're trying to learn from us, we're trying to learn from the next level up of experts. So it's pretty cool, but hopefully today we'll have a few cool tips and tricks for you guys as we're pulling this thing apart. But that's enough chit chat. Let's get into it. Kind of goes without saying, we already drained the coolant before I pulled the radiator out. I pretty much just did it because it's super messy and it's not really super critical to the story of pulling the engine out, but tired of mopping up floors on camera. Oh, no. Oh, yum. That's not ideal. Handy little tip in general actually is just to have one of these paint pens. They're super handy for marking anything on automotive surfaces, pretty much anything steel, plastic or aluminium will mark it. I use these for marking like hoses or vacuum lines or things like that. So I'm going to actually mark one of the wastegate fittings so that we know which way to put it on. I mean, you can work it out by looking at the plumbing, but it's super simple if you just match the colors and keep going. So just gonna color one flat on the wastegate fitting and one flat on the AN fitting. Both pink, because it's the best color ever. Makes your stuff faster. And keep on going. But super handy little tip is just to carry one of those paint pens, because they're cheap and they mark way better than a ink style pen. You can mark any surface easily. Wow, there's your problem. Cylinder 2 is green. Smuts. I hate pulling these gaskets off because they always bind up on the studs, eh? Ah, whatever. That's a later problem. Yummy. Handy little tip with these Bosch injector or knock sensor connectors. They're mega common to lose this wire clip. You've got to unclip it with a tool like that. These are the ones that you can't actually depress to release the spring. You actually have to remove it. So to avoid losing the clip, I always like to refit these straight away. It seems pretty obvious, but even I've fallen foul to losing the clips before. I think we actually lost one in America, come to think of it, maybe even on this. I can't remember. It was a while ago, but yeah, I seem to recall some sort of clip losing incident that resulted in us racking Jody's toolbox for hours looking for a clip to replace it. So yeah, handy to just put them back on as soon as you remove them. Otherwise you're definitely going to be looking for one. And as the great Benny Panganoni says, better to be looking at it than looking for it. This is the fun part where you watch Benny spill the oil everywhere. This isn't going to go well, eh? Just kind of going to go, great success. It's like custard. I don't like custard. Christmas is ruined. Oh look, a shifter. Well, at least I won't rust. That's nasty, eh? That's proper nasty. I do love a good choc mint milkshake in the morning. Now I see what Khalees was on about. Oh good, well at least there's still some in it. You watch, there'll be another like 4 litres of this shit. Some dodgy injector connector clip on it now. See? Wrong one. I chucked it in the bucket because I'm actually going to put the right one on it later. off. We've now got our engine out. We need to support the transmission. I know I have shown this trick before, but there's probably a lot of new viewers since we originally had the engine out of the CRESTA. So a super simple way to support the transmission without an engine in the car is to just get a jack stand, sit it on the subframe, and ratchet it out. Once it's in a good position, like locked in the bell housing, it's never going to go anywhere. Just release the jack or whatever's supporting your transmission. And it's now sitting there for as long as you need to leave it there. There's no hydraulic pressure that it's relying on or anything. It's all mechanical support, so there'll be no issues with sitting the box there for however long you need to. So simple little tip that'll hopefully help you guys not damage your transmissions or shifters or stuff like that. So nice and simple, and we'll continue pulling this sucker apart. A lot of you guys obviously are probably familiar with engines and engine stands. One super handy tip that I've found really easy, rather than trying to actually wrestle the engine into the stand, is actually just to lift the stand up and slide it on, then drop it on the ground, then just chuck your locking pin and your T-handle in. You can guarantee no matter how many times you drain coolant out of your engine, it'll still leak coolant when you put it on the stand or lift it out. It never ceases to amaze me where this coolant must hide in here. We've had a pretty easy day today. We've got the engine out. The bay's pretty much ready to accept the new engine. So next episode, we're going to be over at Empire Mechanical and we're going to be assembling our new engine. And then hopefully, all things going well, it'll be back in the bay later this week, real time, but probably 2 or 3 episodes time in YouTube viewing time. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.